18 PHY 12. Today we are discussing about module 2, elastic properties of materials. The first, we must know that the matter is existing in three different forms. First is known as solid, second is known as liquid, and third is gas. Let us first define these three states of the matter. The question is, what is solid now? Solid is having definite shape and size. Now this solid does not change its shape and size itself or naturally. Now this shape and size can be changed by the application of external force. The force what we are applying externally to change the shape and size of the solid is known as deforming force now, and the changed state of the shape and size is called deformation now. Now this change could be either in shape, size, or both, and the applied force, as I showed you, is called as a deformation. The elastic nature of the body is revealed after the force is removed now. So this is a pinpoint here. When you apply the force, the shape and size and both of a solid changes now. But when you remove the force, then what happens now? The body may exhibit two different properties now. The first is, when you remove the force, it may come back to its original shape and size. And second is, when you remove the force now, it may go to the new shape and size now. That means when the body comes back to the original shape and size, this property is known as elastic property. And when the body does not comes back to the original shape and size, that retains the new shape and size now, that is called a plastic property now. That means elastic material is one when the deforming force is removed now, it regains its original shape and size. And when it does not gains the original shape and size now, that property is called as a plastic property, and the material known as a plastic now. Thus the elasticity is the property of the body due to which it regains its original shape and size when deforming force is removed now. We are much interested in the elasticity now. Now you see the figures in this slide now. The first two figures they are the very simple figures, as you people have already experienced it. The rubber band is there. Now holding the rubber band and applying the force of that one now, this rubber band extends, elongation takes place, and their shape and size changes now. But when you remove the force applied on this one, the rubber band comes back to the original shape and size. That means these are the best example for elastic property. I hope you can better understand what the elasticity is there. Then coming to the two figures at the bottom, are taken the spiral spring now. And for this spring, you can see the red balls are there, they are the mass. The mass is a vertically downward force is there. You can even call the weight also, W is the vertical downward force is there. First initial state is there. The first figure. In second figure, you can observe that the load is increased. F is shown vertically downwards and the extension of the wire takes place. Now this extension is recorded as X now. Further, the load is increased by 2 times, or the force increased by 2 times, the extension takes place. Now this extension is recorded by 2x now. That means what happens now? As you go on increasing the load, the proportionally extension takes place. The length of the spring increases in proportion to the water load applying for that one now. The another figure is there. The another figure, you can just observe that the weight are hanged to the bottom of the spring now, and spring is fixed to a rigid support, along with the scale is there. Now in this one, you are going adding the different weights, and you can observe that the extension of wire recorded by the scales now. Now here what you can do now, you can physically note down the weight and extension of the wire with the help of the calibrated weights and the scale, which tells us how the extension of wire takes. Now the plasticity, we shall learn about the plasticity following Hooke's law. Any elastic deformation is there, analyzed under the three categories now. That means you want to analyze the elastic deformation there under three categories. They are called the Young's modulus, bulk modulus and rigidity modulus. These moduli are there, the ratios are there, and they tell us about how the elastic property that is with the particular material. Now the Hooke's law is a fundamental law in elasticity now. This law can be applied to three different cases and studied under the name of elastic modulus. The Hooke's law is a fundamental law in elasticity. But here I come to the point of the fundamental laws like Newton's laws. Newton's laws are the fundamental laws, and I can say these laws are natural laws also. Because in these laws you can see that is naturally we can find they are present into the nature itself. Now that means we are calling the Newton's laws as a fundamental law. The another example is the Coulomb's law in electrostatics now. In the Coulomb's law, what happens now? The attraction or repulsion between the unlike and like charges, that is called the Coulomb's law now. That also involved into the nature now. The one more example is the Ohm's law. You can find the Ohm's law. What happens now? The current going to conductor is directly proportional to the applied potential difference. This is also again one of the fundamental law of the nature now. But when you come to Hooke's law is not really a physical law. In the strict sense, it is looked upon as a statement of conditional proportionality and not as a fundamental law of nature. However, that it works fairly, accurately in the limits of completely dependable in practical circumstances, gives strength to it as a law in the framework of physics and stands as a cornerstone in the study of elasticity. That is why its phenomenal experimental success has made it one of the most fundamental laws used for engineers in study of the mechanics, materials, engineering mechanics. It is a mechanical civil engineers. What is Ohm's law for electrical engineers now? That means you can say that this becomes the law, and that law we are taken into fundamental law. Now coming to the important aspect of the stress and strain, here you can see in the figure now. Now what is stress and what is strain now? When you take a material as such, take a rubber ball now. On the rubber ball you apply the deforming force now. The rubber ball temporarily changes its shape and size now. But when you remove the force from that rubber ball, the rubber ball regains its original shape now. How it regains now? The rubber ball is having stress inside that one now. That means that is a restoring force. That force makes the ball to regain its original shape and size. That means stress we can define as restoring force per unit area developed inside the body is called stress now. Mathematically we can writing as stress is equal to force upon area, and it is equal to F upon A, and the unit of this one is Newton per meter square now. That means we can repeat this. Stress is restoring force per unit area developed inside the body is called stress now. Now another is called the strain now. In the strain, what is happening? The dimensional changes are there now. Now these dimensional changes can be noted with respect to its original dimension now. Now this strain is the ratio of change in dimensions to original dimension is known as the strain now. That means you see strain is the ratio of the two length. Then what happens? This strain is the ratio of two lengths now. It has no units and no dimensions now. That means you can write the strain is equal to change in dimensions upon original dimensions now. The dimension length, it may be value. Like this what happens now? You can write change in dimensions upon original dimensions. Both numerator and denominator have got same unit now. They get cancelled and I can write no unit and no dimensions now. Now, the change in dimensions depends upon the form of the body and the manner in which the force is applied now. That means when you are changing the dimension of the body now, you have to apply the force, deforming force. How much force you apply and what the condition of the body is there. How the body has got dimension. On that one what happens now? This change in dimension depends now. That means deformations takes place depending upon its shape, its material, or you can say whatever the force you apply now. Now here, the deformation what is taking place now, they are classified further in 3 categories now. Now these categories are the tensile stress now, second is compressive stress now, and third is called as shear stress now. Now we can say deformation what it takes place now. It is further classified into 3 types: tensile stress, compressive stress, and stress. Let us first go in depth with the tensile stress or longitudinal stress now. You first observe the 2 figures now. The tensile stress is shown there. Now you can find that from that body the arrows are directed outwards now. Now these arrows signifies the force you are applying now. In this fashion you apply the force now, length of that body increases. You are applying the force axially. The elongation takes place now. Such a stress what you are applying, and that is known as an tensile stress now. Now this is stretching force, you can say, per unit area of the section of the solid along its length now. That is longitudinal stress is equal to force upon area now. Now here you can find that another figure also shown now, fixing the top end to the rigid support and pulling at the bottom. Here also what happens, length increases now. Now this makes the point clear. What is the tensile stress now? That is again force upon area is there, but you are applying axially, pulling the body. Second is the linear strain now, or tensile strain or longitudinal strain now. Just you find here, this is a ratio of change in length upon original length, small x upon capital L now. Now observe both the figures now, we are applying the force for this one. The small change in length you can observe, that is denoted by dl now. Original length is L, small increment in length is taken the dl now. This type of, what the strain you are applying, the change in length upon original length is known as a linear strain. That is XC now. Now coming to the next point, compressive stress or volume stress or pressure also now. Now here you can see the arrow marks are directed towards the material. I can call inward direction now. This will be compressive. Another one I have shown the volume deformation in the figure now. These forces are there. You observe that 8 arrows are there, they are showing the direction in the inwards, and the first volume decreased to the small volume. This is called the deformation, but the compression has taken place. Now here you can say that compressive stress is equal to force upon area. Now coming to the volume strain now. Volume strain is change in volume upon original volume now. Now these 2 figures are there, they make it clear that the first figure, you can find that a rectangular box, inside that a red cube is there. Rectangular box is the original volume. After compression it becomes like that small volume, that you can call the V. That means now whatever the force you are applying, they are acting perpendicular to the surface, all the 6 surfaces now, 6 spaces, and that can compress it now, the volume decrease now. Now this change in volume upon original volume you are calling is volume strain now. Let us come to the second figure. Second figure shows all forces by red arrow mark, they are compressing it, and volume V0, and another is a decrease in volume becomes V0 upon delta E. Delta is the small compression taken place now. Now this is what exactly the volume strain is there. The volume decreases, what is the volume strain now. Now shear stress or tangential stress now. Tangential means you are applying the force perpendicularly in 90 degree to the surface of the body now. Shear is a cutting now. When you apply the force tangentially, the body cuts off, breaks off. It is the force acting tangentially per unit area on the surface of the body now. Now this is cuts up now. The tangential stress is equal to force upon area. Now see the figure now. I have written the shear modulus in this figure. The arrow marks show that how the force are applying. Only the upper face is slightly moving. That means deformation is taking place here. The result of this movement we are noted as a delta x now. Horizontal movement is delta x now. And due to this horizontal movement, you can find that there is an angle created now. This angle is a ratio of delta x upon y now. But this angle, what is there, that itself is called as a shear stress or tangential stress now. This is, if you come in case of the stress, you can write it as a force upon area where it is acting now, tangential stress now. But this is called a shear strain now. This is also acting in the 90 degree, but what is happening now? This can be measured in the form of theta, that is an angle now. The shearing angle itself is a measure of the ratio of change in dimensions to the original dimensions. We are writing it as shear strain theta is equal to delta x upon L now. The ratio of two sides of a triangle, you can say there delta x upon that L, that becomes the theta now, and this theta tells about what exactly the shear. Now to conclude this class now, we have discussed about elastic properties of materials, and in this we have studied about matter exists in three different states now. The first we have discussed about what is solid now, solid having definite shape and size. And when you come to liquid in this fashion, liquid is having no definite shape, but it has got definite size now. The liquid takes the shape of the containing vessel. And we're talking about the gas now. Gas neither have definite shape nor definite size now. Now gas has neither definite shape and size. Liquid is having definite size but no definite shape now. But when you're coming to the point of the solid now, solid is having definite shape and size, and we are using solids for many more application engineering now, and we are studying tell us about the shear stress now. Now with this I conclude this class. Thank you one and all. Please like this class and share it. Thank you one and all.